The most horrific event is the events of the grave. The condition in which it enters into the grave begins the new level of testing, 70,000 times more difficult than the testing of the physicality. This was a warning for the people, a day is coming. This is the aqeedah of the Messiah and the Dajjal people, to try to unify people and take away the power of the nation. And they were fooled by shaitan to think that they have a very powerful, unique relationship with Allah, and they end up in difficulty and difficulty and difficulty. Only through that key now Prophet can come into the grave and say, I'm very happy with you.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
When a person takes their last breath going through the 7 veils, are those doors to pass from the door of Muhammad to Ahmad's door sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
I don't know, that it doesn't relate like that. Or we're just talking something simplified, something different, that when they take their last breaths they now enter into Hayat al-Barzakh. So means the soul left the body and now has to enter into the grave, and the condition in which it enters into the grave begins the new level of testing, 70,000 times more difficult than the testing of the physicality. So means that as soon as they enter into the grave, what condition are now coming into this grave? So these teachings, if you understood the reality of these teachings, is not so much for people to come and have enjoyable foods and to wear some logos and have some nice talks that are exciting for people. The true value of the teaching was for the soul on its last breath, because they know.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That the most horrific event is the events of the grave, and that was the purpose and the essence of the teachings. The teachings were we would write these realities, we would understand these realities, we would be busy with our awrads, our wazifas and salawats and zikrs. Why? To give a power, to give a light upon the soul, to give a presence upon the soul, so that when it went into the grave it was prepared. It does all of its zikrs, it has all of its understandings. Immediately it asks for the madad of the shaykhs, asks for the madad in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. Why? Because it knows that this is an abode that will be very difficult. And that's why Allah describes that when somebody is guided and truly and rightly guided, is guided to the ways of the love of Prophet whom are in the hands of awliya, means the lovers and ashiqeen of Sayyidina Muhammad. As a result of that love and that teaching, they call for that presence and call for that blessings in their time of need, in their hour of need. The hour of need is most understood by the grave. So we may have hours of need in the physical world, they are nothing in comparison to the moment we enter into the grave. We have done many things maybe that have angered Allah, that we've taken the rights of people, things that have been put upon us, done upon us, whatever the conditions are, that we want to go into that condition with immense love for awliya, love for the companions, love for Ahlul Bayt, love Most High for Sayyidina Muhammad, love for Allah Most High. Why? So that we call upon them. Those then at that time we understand the value of what was taught to us. At that time we understand what type of blessings Allah gave to us to take away these difficulties. When the difficulties have gone and the grave becomes the beatific dress, beatific blessings, beatific awards, at that time the servant knows Allah now is radi, is content with His servant. Now begins the dressing that here's this, here's your zikr that you did, here are your contributions that you did, here's the path in which you followed, here are all of these awards given upon your soul for the good deeds and the good actions and the immensity of light and love for the Divinely Presence. Those then become the dress upon the soul that now takes them into the Muhammadan realities. So their grave condition when they die should be a Muhammadan condition, if that was understood by what we said, right? So the one whom is a student, we said they enter the grave immediately madad, they're making their salawats, they're asking for the presence of their shaykhs, they're asking for the presence of Prophet. That means that grave becomes Muhammadiyun, because all ashiqeen are now being called for relief and the presence of Prophet is being called for relief. That's a Muhammadan grave. That's the ashiqeen, that's like a rose garden. There's going to be very limited amount of punishment because there's so much barakah and blessings now coming into that vicinity. So what happens then? Now becomes the diminishing of difficulties, the intercession of Prophet inshaAllah, and all now then the dressings and blessings. So that was then the key of Muhammadan Rasulullah. Only through that key now Prophet can come into the grave and say, I'm very happy with you, I'm happy with what you did, I'm happy with the life that you led, I'm happy with your tashrif and tahzeem in which you tried to glorify Allah and raise my name amongst people. And now I take you to Maqam al-Mahmud and I take you into the malakut and the worldly and heavenly light realities that can only be achieved. Now look at the one who walked away from guidance. He enters the grave thinking he has a relationship with Allah, and yes, I accept Muhammadan Rasulullah if they come to ask me a question of who my messenger was. They don't believe in intercession of Prophet, they don't do any salawat on Sayyidina Muhammad, and they were fooled by shaitan to think that they have a very powerful unique relationship with Allah, and they cut out Muhammadan Rasulullah. What does that person do now in the grave? Call out, scream, yell, and what does he keep yelling? Allah, Allah. But what Allah's listening for? What happened to Muhammadan Rasulullah? Oh astaghfirullah, we would never say something like that. And shaitan fooled them in their belief. You say, why? What's the motive? When a crime occurs the police come to you and say, the motive is what gives you an understanding. The motive of shaitan is punishment for Adam and Bani Adam. He wants nothing more than Adam and Eve and their children to be punished, because you're the favoured of Allah and he got thrown out. He loved nothing more than you go scream all you want directly to Allah, don't mention Muhammadun Rasulullah. And they end up in difficulty and difficulty and difficulty until Allah inspire within their heart that, haven't you seen a Muhammadan representative? Haven't you seen anything pious? Don't you remember from your childhood or what your father maybe taught you? And maybe they'll be inspired to begin to make their durood al-sharif and their salawats in the grave. And at that time Allah send a rahmah and a mercy to reinforce the aqeedah. Because Allah doesn't want to reward an incorrect belief, He wants to reward the correct belief that you have to have the love of Muhammadan Rasulillah. And this is the honour of our nation, this is the honour and the secret and the keys of this nation. So yes, it's a big gift to die with this love, to die with correct guidance, to die with the understanding and the reality of the key. And that's what we said, Dajjal is coming to tell everybody, La ilaha illallah. Did you think he's only coming with horns? No, he's coming to tell everybody, La ilaha illallah. And he's going to have summits and hearings and they're going to come from all over the world. And many Muslims going to come, because we said they're most of them not following Sayyidina Mahdi salam. They're more interested in $400 billion on a ball. So what happens then? The Dajjal comes and the Dajjal representatives and the Messiahs come and they say, what? La ilaha illallah, unify everybody. Why? Because they took our key away. You say, La ilaha illallah, oh you won't, but it means nothing to us unless you say Muhammadan Rasulullah. So we said this is their aqeedah. Don't be surprised when they start to have summits and hearings and bringing people, no. This is a system of Dajjal to take the key away so that they all enter into the grave forgetting Muhammadan Rasulullah. And Prophet described, there'll be a day in which they on the minbar of Rasulullah they won't mention the name of Muhammadan, they won't mention hadith, they won't mention anything. But they'll talk about Qur'an but they'll never talk about Muhammadun Rasulullah. That's why the nat sharif was a warning from awliya. Zikr ki, what's the one we have? Khuda na kuna, that they say Allah but they don't say Muhammadun Rasulullah. This was a warning for the people, a day is coming. This is the aqeedah of the Messiah and the Dajjal people, to try to unify people and take away the power of the nation. The power of the nation is in Muhammadun Rasulullah. Because with the key of Muhammadun Rasulullah you open the reality of La ilaha illallah. Without that key Allah's not sending support, inshaAllah. InshaAllah time for Salatul Maghrib, we'll come back and answer and have some more questions and hopefully an answer. Bi hurmati Muhammadin Mustafa, Basir Surat al-Fatiha.